Stop making excuses for the way you grew up. Start making changes for the way you want to live. Those are the words of NCAA men's basketball and NBA champion Derek Anderson. We'll be talking a little business and diving into his portfolio. You're in the Enterprise Zone at the Nasdaq. Hello, everyone. This is Jabari Young, senior writer at Forbes, and you're in the Enterprise Zone at the Nasdaq. And I am joined by a special guest. He is Derek Anderson. That's right, NBA champ and NCAA men's basketball champion. Not too many people can say that. Played 11 seasons in the NBA, drafted in the 1997 draft, 13th overall by the Cleveland Cavaliers, and also played for the Spurs, won a championship with the Miami Heat. Derek, it's good to have you, man. It's good to see you again, my brother, man. It's been a long time, man.
A very long time.
Yeah,
great to see you, man.
Absolutely, man. I mean, for those people who may not know, man, I got a cold call from his wife. He said, hey, you should have my husband on the show. I said, I've been talking to your husband since 2017 when I was covering the Spurs, man. It's just one of those things where life brings you back together, man. So it's just great to see you, man.
It's great, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to my wife. Jamie.
Absolutely, man. That's why I just got to get married, man. I'm telling you, it's always the wives that hold you down, man. I got to hurry up and get married.
Jamie Anderson, she is the greatest.
That's right, man. I saw it. I'm like, Jamie Anderson.
Yes.
And then Derek Anderson, you know, it went two and two together, man.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
First time at the Nasdaq, man. How you like it?
Yes, I love it, man. It's great. It's good.
Yeah.
Good feeling. Feel like I'm gonna come back one day.
I can't believe you never been here before, man. Like, I really can't. You won a championship, one of the first dudes to be with the Jordan brand, and you've never been at the Nasdaq.
Nah, I like to kind of lay private a little bit.
Key.
Kind of low key.
Low
but
key.
Yeah, sometimes it's time to get out in front of the curve and see how things move.
Yeah, man. Well, listen, you're here, so you got to give me a stock, man. What's been working for Derek Anderson, maybe throughout your life since you got money, or maybe something you're looking to buy?
It was funny because right when COVID hit, my wife and I was kind of dibbling and dabbling, and we kind of looked at like 4 or 5 of them we got with NVIDIA. So we were kind of fortunate enough to kind of get that.
Early?
Early. She was really on it. She's in tech and she was in finance, so she kind of I listened.
Yes.
You know, if one thing you listen to somebody who knows what they're doing, and she kind of put us up on that. So we were like NVIDIA, and it was one of our best ones we've done.
You sitting pretty right now, man. NVIDIA.
We're happy.
Head of the AI curve, man. They looking pretty. Chris Paul also said the same thing, man. He said, I got some NVIDIA stock as well. How come you don't never give these tips to the average people, man? You got to just start, tipping them out there.
People like looking at our basketball more than they like our business.
I know, man. I'm trying to tell people like there's a whole bunch more to these dudes, and y'all know I've been behind the scenes with them. I'm telling you, it's a lot more, man.
Yeah.
Well, if you walk into a classroom today, man, let's say you walk into a fifth grade class, and they may not know, your playing days, and they say, well, what do you do, Derek Anderson? What do you tell them?
I tell them I stay consistent with who I am as a person, because my characters walk me in rooms that people can't get in. Just because you play a sport doesn't mean anything, but me being polite, me being respectful, that gets me indoors that I probably couldn't get any other way. And I think a lot of these kids they don't realize that that's a way of doing it. You don't have to be famous, you have to be successful in what you do. And your character and your personality is what I found out to be successful for me.
Yeah. And do you say now you're a businessman or a former NBA player? Like, how do you introduce yourself to these kids?
Actually, I just say I'm Derek Anderson.
Really?
That's it. I said I don't put no titles before it or anything. I said because if you know me as a person, you'll know that you can be that same way.
That's right.
When you put titles in front of your name, people try to say, well, I'm not that. I'm not an NBA player. I'm not going to be tall. I'm not going to be an athlete. I'm not going to be an entertainer. I'm not going to do this. But I think if you just leave your name who it is, you can create the value for yourself. And I think a lot of these kids are trying to be something they're not. And I tell them, be who you are, but be successful, be happy, and be positive.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to dive into this story. There's a lot to go there. But before we do that, you got to tell me what's been keeping you motivated in 2025. There's a lot happening. You look up, you're a businessman. I know you see the tariffs, right? You see how the AI and what's that looking to do, the people's jobs and the scariness that comes from that, man. So, but the music is what keeps, I feel like, everybody, common denominator. We all got that in common. We love good music, man. What's your soundtrack to 2020?
Well, I listen to Zen music.
Zen?
I was on the plane, I listened to Zen massage music. I just kind of relax my mind, because your mind's always going.
Does Phil Jackson pop in from time to time?
Nah, I didn't get it from him. I had this a long time ago from being injured, and when you're injured, you have a lot of free time. And when you have that time, you have to keep your mind moving in a positive direction. You're negative, it weighs on you. So I've always listened to like massage music, Zen music, and it just came just because I know I needed to relax. Because you're like a friend of mine, my partner, Michael Grinnell, my teammate at the NBPA, he always says that, if you're always on red, you can never get off green. You can get back to green. So he's always taught us how to be kind of like in the middle. You're yellow, you're red, you're green. So I was always taught to listen to certain people who can give me information. But if you're always in that red moment, you can't really calm down. So I always said, how can I get calm? Just be in peace. So I go to the massage, music, go to Zen music, and just kind of stay there. When you stay there, it works. If anybody tries it, they'll be like, wow, I didn't think that. Because your mind's not into rap, it's not into crying about you being broke up with somebody. It's always about calmness. And that was a good phase for me.
Yeah, I use smooth jazz to kind of do that, but I
That
guess
does it
Zen
too.
might be, yeah. But
No,
the
jazz does
jazz, you
it.
got a lot of the instruments, so you might get thrown off a little bit. And like, if I listen to My Favorite Things by John Coltrane, as soon as McCoy Tyner comes on, like,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mind is like, damn, he kicking it. But Zen music, huh? I gotta try that.
you should try
Is it
it.
in, like, do you download it? It's on Apple Music?
It's everywhere.
Okay,
YouTube,
cool.
anywhere you want to go, it's there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good to know, man. Well, listen, man, how's life? I call around and I'm talking to NBA scouts all the time and people, and I say, man, tell me something. What do you remember about Derek Anderson? They say, man, solid player. What is he up to right now? What is going on with it? Like, where is he? Right? And I'm like, so I got to start you off by asking you, man, how was life? Where are you living at nowadays, man? And because you've been off the radar.
Yeah, man. A couple of friends saw me in Vegas, speaking to the guys, the rookie guys, and they're like, man, where you been at? And I was like, man, I'm around, but it's what I chose to do is leave more than my name.
Yeah.
And that means I have to do something for people that people don't see. Because if you look at it, most people in this world, they're not famous, but they're productive. So I try to stay behind the scenes and make sure I got with those people and give them opportunities. Like you said, the curve of jobs and lives changing is tremendous. So you try to give them a heads up and give them some information and opportunity. So I live in Alpharetta, Georgia now. My wife and our family, we live there. But we're just trying to make sure we leave something behind besides just a name of basketball. You know, when we leave, we want to have something that continues to grow. Like we created some beverage things called Anderson Heritage. So when we go, our children's children can have something proud to be, say, you know what, my grandparents did something positive and left something good. They weren't the most richest people, they weren't the most famous people, but they were productive. And I think that's what we're trying to leave behind. So that's why we stay kind of low key, but we're very productive in what we do.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, you brought it up right fast, so I want to dive into your empire, but definitely want to get your take, because I know you're in New York, right, working with NBA rookies and part of the transition program, so I definitely want to get your take on that. But, you know, you have, you know, your heritage, you know, the bourbon. What are you finding out about the spirits business, man? Very competitive. Beyonce's in it now. You know, I know Fawn Weaver from Uncle Nearest is in there now, and there's a lot of people in there. CJ McCollum got his wine. Like, everybody's doing some type of spirits. What are you finding about the spirits business?
Well, it's funny because I don't even drink, but
I know, I was going to say that. You've never drank or smoked in your life. And
Never,
you are selling bourbon.
Well, I think it was because Kentucky.
Yeah.
And I think the legacy of what that does is kind of put them in a place where you can say, be smart with what you're doing, but be authentic of what you want to do. And again, I wanted to leave something behind. You know, some of my kids, the older kids, they dibble and dabble with some wine and stuff. So I said, you know what, if you guys like it, let Dad help you develop that. So I want to get started for them, let them take it from themselves and let them build upon it. So it was just basically, again, starting something for them to have something, again, leave behind something besides just my name.
Where can people buy it? Is it in Kentucky? I mean, where's the distribution at?
It'll start in Kentucky. We're going to do a big launch with our 1996 championship team.
Nice.
Our 30th anniversary is coming up next year.
That's right.
So we're going to kind of announce it then. We're going to have a big brand like the championship series, the gold series, and it'll just be something for everyone to get a good flavor. I had to let my friends taste it so they can tell me if it's good or not.
Yeah. You didn't bring anyone from you. You brought me a book bag. Thank you for the Jordan book bag. No bourbon, though, right?
Yeah,
no
I don't know if they let it in now.
Oh, man, that's crazy. But, I mean, listen, that University of Kentucky team, where you won the championship in 1996 with them, when you walk through Kentucky, man, is it still royalty? Because, like, people just, like, bow down to you? Because when you're a college player in those type of towns, man, they love you. Because there's no pro sports team there.
Yeah, it's pretty unique. Me and my wife were driving, and I don't even know if I was over the speed limit. We were driving, the cop pulled us over, and he saw who it was, and he took a selfie with us.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
So it was kind of funny. It's they still treat us good. But we were good guys. We weren't like jerks. We were always respectful to our fans. So, yeah, they still treat us pretty good.
Yeah, I was just saying, because you got like a natural line to get that bourbon in. You go to University of Kentucky. Y'all have your parties, you know, make sure y'all have it here. But then you have the Stamina Foundation, man. I know that is very, very serious for you, man. Take me inside of the foundation and updating in 2025. What are you doing with Stamina? I know mental health is a part of it, man, and just maybe making sure that kids are staying encouraged based off of, you know, how you grew up. And again, we'll get into your, you know, upbringing later, but what's going on with Stamina?
Well, again, it was from my upbringing. It's like knowing that people give you an opportunity, you have to take advantage of it. Your character means everything. You know, I met Michael Jordan, and I tore both my ACLs before I even got to the NBA. And he told me, he said, I want you to be the first guy to represent my shoe company with the other guys. And he said, I said, why? And he's like, you know, my knees are hurting. He's just like, I ain't worried about that. He said, I heard nothing but good things about you.
That's right.
So I said, if you're going to give me a job based upon my character, I need to do that same message to the other kids. And knowing how I grew up, no parents, no dad, no mother, it was like, how can I get these young people to think in a positive way? We can talk all day. So what I do is my foundation, we get them up and we interact and we role play. We show them what real life is. We teach them to be leaders. I don't just talk to them. I get them up and tell me, what would you do if you turned the ball, if me and you was a coach and I turned the ball over 3 times, what would you tell me?
Yeah.
You tell me, sit on the bench. I said, but what will be my response?
Right.
I'll do better, coach, or you just get mad and get quiet.
Yeah.
And so you role play with them, and now they see it from a different angle, and they're more like, wow, I get it now. I'm not just getting talked to, I'm getting taught.
Right.
And I think the school systems, we have lost a little track of common courtesy. So I bring that back, common courtesy and people skills. If you can teach a kid that, they can find a way of surviving. So our foundation with my wife and I, we just always wanted to make sure we taught them how to think with common courtesy and people skills. Yeah. All the book sense can take you places, but your common courtesy and people skills will keep you there.
Yeah.
So our foundation is predicated on just helping people be better people, man.
Yeah. Do you see that personal touch that's being lost? Because you're right, man. I mean, back when I was coming in school, I don't know how it is. I only see it through my daughter's eyes, but she's in a completely different dynamic than I was coming up prior you was. Right. But we had that personal touch. You had teachers that care. You had older men who were teachers who took you aside and kind of explained to you what not to do, right? We had that, right? When you go into these schools nowadays, do you still see that, or is it gone?
I wouldn't say it's totally gone. I think what happened was we focused on so much of the education and not the people skills part of it. So I think we've lost it as far as making it the main thing. You know, that can never change. Your attitude and your character has to be first before I give you any book. You know, and I think a lot of people forgot that part. It's like, teach your kids how to behave. Yeah. If you looked at the world right now, imagine, and that was another thing we're doing, we only give you money if you're kind. Like, we'll help you. We're not giving it because you're doing something. We're doing it because you're a kind person. So imagine the only way if you got paid if you had to be nice to people.
That's right.
Be a lot of broke people. And I think what our focus is that the schools that they do forget that is focus on the character first. Your attitude and what they see is what they're going to reflect and do out in the world. Because as soon as you see a parent or an adult act a certain way, that kid thinks it's okay for them to be that way. So now they're not afraid of police, they're not afraid of parents, they're not afraid of school teachers, and now we have to fight against all those things at once. So if you start off with the character part, that's the point. But we have to get the school teachers back on board with character-driven practices in the beginning of school.
Yeah. And that leads into your act of kindness, right? Your AOK app. Yeah. I know you're developing that. Children's books as well.
Yes.
A Halo Zen 2, it's an IP, right? For mental and physical wellness healing. It's very interesting, man. Take me inside a Halo Zen 2, man. What are you doing with it?
Well, it's two of them, and it's basically mental healing. And I can't give everything out, but it's more where you put it on, and it massages your head, your lymph nodes, your temples, your mind, and it plays Zen music.
Wow.
So now if you want to get off work and you want to relax, it's a headset. It's real smooth, just a glove, and it goes on and it comes on and just massages you, relaxes you, gets you in a place of peace, and it helps you keep you calm, so it releases the stress. And that's what we focus on. I want to have something where everyone in the world can use this, and you go home, wherever you're at, you turn it off.
Right. So it's like an Oculus. You buy it, and then that's what it is.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's pretty unique. We'll have it out by the end of the year. And
how many are you going to be rolling out in the market?
It's going to be thousands.
Thousands, okay.
Thousands. Because I'm going to give it to a lot of the mental guys, like some of my teammates, some of the older guys and the younger guys who's playing sports, and then some people who are older, like some of my aunts and uncles. You know, they're of age, and they just, you know, sometimes they're stressed. You know, the body's getting older, frustrated. So we want to give them that. And then the other one is my Halo Zen stretch table. And that's to stretch and massage you at the same time.
So you're going to be investing in actual devices, right? Yes. I mean, that sounds like it's going to be expensive, man. You ain't going to go bankrupt, are you?
Well, we're going to need some help. That's why we're at Nasdaq.
Yeah. So you're looking for investors for this then?
Yes, we'll have some investors for that to promote it. I mean, to build it out, get them out, pushed out. But all this is about health. Yeah. It's about healing. It's not about money. It's like you want to make sure people are healing. You can do a whole lot of things to gain money, but you want to get some stuff that's actually helping us heal as people. And this is what I want to do. When I get older, I just want to make sure my body's healed, my mind is okay. Because as you get older, one thing you can't get back is time.
That's right. Yeah. Is that the message, man, that you take again? You're in town and you'll be working with the NBA, part of their, rookie transition program. I always find it fascinating for guys who the NBA still talks to. Yeah, if you're still in their circle, right? If you're a player, you're still in the circle, that means they like you, right? I look at that. There's a lot of guys that don't get near the rookie transition program. Right, we don't want you talking to him.
Yeah.
Part of that program, man, what are you guys going in and what are you teaching these incoming rookies? They're way different than where you were, coming up. And when you got into the league in '97, you got social media now, man. It's NIL money. So a lot more challenges, coming into the NBA where the spotlight is going to be on you like probably never before. You get pulled over for a traffic ticket, that's going to make the news, right? I mean, it's those small things that now your life becomes magnified. What do you as an NBA vet, somebody who's been there, seen the NBA from a variety of levels, tell these young kids in 2025?
Well, again, you don't talk to them, you talk with them.
Yeah.
You meet them where they're at. And I think that was the biggest key. We're always talking to kids and talking to young people as if they're going to listen to it. They don't listen to their parents half the time. So what I do is give them real life role playing. Say, if you get pulled up, if you don't drink, can you get a DUI? He's like, I know. He's like, no. I said, well, why do you drink and drive? And I make him think. I don't just talk to him. You make him think. And I say, if you're riding with a friend, I say, man, I just got traded. And what would you tell your friend? He's like, oh man, don't worry about it. I was like, well, you need to get out of my car. You're not positive. You know what I mean? I need some positivity in me. Like, who are you riding with? So you get them in these role-playing situations, and once they see, oh man, he's right. I see what he sees now. You don't see that when you're just living day to day when you're an athlete. You got money, you got fame, you got everybody paying attention. You be getting looked up to for the last 6-7 years. So these guys have to come to realization, like, you're different now. And they don't mean you're different or better than people. You're just different. You're going to look that different. So I give them all that role playing. And when they listen to me, they see, okay, this guy makes sense. They don't care how old you are. You know, good information is good information. So they look at it and be like, wow, I see what he's seeing. I see what he means by that.
Yeah.
And now they walk away with something more than just a conversation. They walk away with some ideas of how to be better. So if he's in that situation, he sees someone's about to fight or somebody's about to do something, he knows he pull his phone out and record it, protect himself, or he knows to leave. I say he sees that instead. You know, you tell him that, but he'd never practice it. So we get him up and tell him to practice. Show me what you're going to do. So he does it. Now he's like, okay, I've done this before. It's like basketball. How did you learn how to be good?
Yeah.
Repetition.
Do you talk to them about business at all and what they should be doing with their money? Because that's a big topic now. Financial literacy is definitely the new wave. I feel like the generation today is taking more interest in financial literacy than previous generations ever did. Do you guys talk about business at all?
Yeah, we talk about business. But I try to mentor them as well about that and tell them who to go to. CJ McCullum, a friend of mine, like he and I talk. I said, sometimes you got to listen to the guy who's there before you.
That's right.
Go to the vet and see what he's doing. You know, listen and learn. You know, just listen to people you listen to learn. So therefore, you ask guys to talk to them, and you go build around that group of people who are informed. Don't walk with. If you see this guy's going to the club and you see this guy's going to Nasdaq, which one you want to follow? That's a representation of what you want to be.
Most times they'll choose the club. They get older, they go to Nasdaq.
But you don't need to. I didn't. I wasn't going to the club. I was
right.
going to business places. I wasn't coming here, but I was going to every meeting that I could. The business people, you know, to go to the Jordans, the Nikes, go to those meetings. I went to all of those meetings to figure out what I could do. I opened up my first Jordan shoe store I ever made. I opened it up. Like, that was what I was trying to do, is how can I build something off the people that I know?
Yeah.
And I think that's what I try to tell them, because the business side of it, it's always up and down, but the consistency of you learning is never down. Yeah. It's always continuously growing.
What's it like being Derek Anderson in 2025 yourself, man? Like, I mean, you know, you're your own CEO, you always have, but again, you're low key. For the people who know you, they know you. If they know your face, they know it. It's like, you can tell the people who followed the league for a long time if they know guys like yourself, right?
Yeah.
But what's it like being Derek Anderson today, man?
Man, I'm truly fortunate. You know, I think finding my wife, Jamie Anderson, and having good kids, having good friends, having good family, that was something that wasn't there when I was younger. So to have it at this age, I cherish it. Like, everything I do is for them now. You know, I still enjoy myself, but I still enjoy seeing them happy. And I think that was the fortunate thing for me, is just being able to give back to people who actually work hard and do the right thing, man. So I'm happy, man. I like low key. I don't, you know, but I love being able to be productive too. So being out forefront now means something. I have to step out of my comfort zone and do something more. So being seen, being more avid about producing and production of what I want to do in my life, I have to put that out now.
Yeah, well, listen, what's your day-to-day like? I know you used to, when I was talking back in 2017, you said, yo, I start the day off with a protein shake. Always, right?
Same
thing?
Same thing. My wife be like, you don't do nothing different?
Protein shake all the time.
That and oatmeal. She got me eating oatmeal and egg whites, and she's like, try something different. I'm like, I don't want to. I'm like, she's like, you do the same thing. So I call my friends, my son, and he's like, he don't do nothing different.
Creature habit. Yeah.
Creature habit. 30 years, still the same way. Yeah,
so it's the protein shake. I mean, are you on IG? Are you checking? I don't know if you see my likes. You probably don't even follow. I mean, I'm on likes on Instagram. Are you on Instagram? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I love hanging out, showing everything. And
so it's really you on Instagram. It ain't nobody assistant or nothing like that. Okay.
No.
So if somebody DM you with a business idea,
yes, I'm always on.
To it.
That's the one thing about me. You can ask anybody, they say he's always the one to respond.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll FaceTime people, hit me on social media, and I'll respond back to them. I'll FaceTime kids when they're going through stuff. I talk to people who I don't even know just because they said, can you talk to my son? I'm like, yeah, FaceTime.
Yeah.
It'll be on social media, but it'll be like, just give them a chance, opportunity, because you don't know what that'll do for people.
No.
And I've been consistent with that. I am who I am.
Well, I mean, listen, man, you are who you are, but before you got to this point, you had to grow through those trials and tribulations that we always had, man. And you take a step back. You grew up in Louisville, Kentucky, right? Southwick housing projects. What was that like for you? Because when I go to revisit your story, Derek, I mean, you want to talk about overcoming some stuff, man. I mean, we all think that we have things in our lives that we go through, but you battled homelessness. Your mom left you. Your dad was in the streets and he left you. You're sitting at home in a broken home, man, and I have a feeling what that's like. but your brother ran away, and then you have a child your own at age 15, running and ripping and running the streets, still make class president, staying out of trouble. But those nights when you were in an empty apartment with your son because his mom and her mom got locked up. So now you on the street with the baby, you on your and going to school and still playing and trying to figure out basketball, right? I mean, I can't imagine, man, what that was like for you. But when you have to go back, and I don't know if you have take that time from time to time to see where you've come from and where you are, the weight of it all, man. But what was that like for you, man? And you go back to that Derek Anderson that's holding your son in that empty apartment, man. What do you tell that young 15-year-old kid?
I tell him to keep moving forward. I tell him, to stay the course. I think what happened with me was I had a village of people that were positive. And a lot of the times you don't have that. And I think for me was I just showed my wife and showed the kids, said, this is where your dad, this is where I grew up. They were like, really? I was like, yeah. I said, this is where I grew up, like why I had to raise your brother and this and that. And they're like, well, how'd you survive? I said, I had a good attitude. I worked hard. Very simple. Everybody's got a story. Everybody in this room, everybody in the world, but to come home at I wasn't even 12 yet. I was turning my birthday July, so I was coming home after school, man, to an empty apartment. My mother took everything out. She was on drugs, drinking, and she was gone. My dad had left at 10 because he was a street guy. She went around, so he moved out the city. And I literally was in an empty apartment going to school. So I had people knocking on my door to get me to go to school. I was getting up, just staying at parks. I was staying over these people's houses, wearing other people's clothes. But I said, I just wanted a better life, man. I just wanted something different. I went to Winn-Dixie and asked to carry people's bags for 5 or 10 cents. This is '84. So I was just asking people to carry their bags for 7 cents, and I was just saying, yes, sir, yes, ma'am, and everybody was giving me like change because I was smiling. That's all I was doing. It's like, how y'all doing? And that was because I was taught to have good character, taught to have a good attitude. And I survived, man. I was literally living on my own, and I took them back and showed them before they tore it down, and my son was like, how do we survive? And my oldest son, Derek Jr., and he's like, he said, I remember having nights and like he's seen it where he was just sleeping. We sleeping on a mattress against the door, somebody would come in. And we were young. I was 15. He was just born. And then he was 16. I had custody of him. So I'm going to school, dropping him off next door, going to school, playing basketball, working his job, 2 jobs, pick him back up and take care of him. Did that for 2 years. So it was a process, but I never drank alcohol, never sold drugs, never stole nothing. I just worked. Had a good attitude and worked, and the village took care of me. And I think that was separating us now is the villages. If you can get the young kids' parents to teach them to be positive, the village will help again. And now that you can't keep, some of these kids are not being respectful, the village can't help you. And I think that's the only reason I survived, man. It was just a lot of hands on me, but I never gave up. I never made excuses. You never saw me, like I took a bag of deodorant and a wash rag to school, so I would wash myself in the sink because I didn't have hot water at home, so I would do it in the locker rooms. But I always had a mindset of doing better. And I think when your mind is put on positive, stuff happens for you. Everything just started turning. Like every day I was something good. Even when something bad, like an injury happened, it was still something about, hey, we gave you another job. Like I got extra hours on the newspaper route. And he was like, man, you can come in on Monday because I had to work Saturday, Sunday. He said, you can do Monday papers now. So I'm thinking of everything as a positive because of my character, my attitude. I hadn't graduated. I didn't know anything about life. All I had was change. I had those cups that I had stuck in my door, and I would put quarters, nickels, dimes, pennies, and I just kept saving up. My son was drinking whole milk with me. But we survived, and now he understands what character and positivity and work ethic means. Nothing about me is special. It's just I did the right things and the right things happened.
And you're going to Ohio State, obviously. Randy Ayers, good friend of mine, came up in Philadelphia, man. Was coaching the Sixers at one point. Recruit you to Ohio State. But something phenomenal happened in that whole transition, man. Because we had my man Jim Jackson up here too.
My man.
And Ohio State, that's when he was going pro. And Randy Ayers had recruited you. And then you came in right after Jim Jackson. But Jim was holding out with the Dallas Mavericks, so you got a chance to work out with him before you even went to the NBA, right? What were you learning from a Jim Jackson as a freshman, right, coming on campus at Ohio State? What are you learning from a guy like that?
Man, that dude is like a rock-solid brick brother to me, man. As soon as I got there, he was like, man, what you do is you be a leader. He said, I don't care about you being no freshman, you be a leader. And I was like, wow, because you have to sit back and figure your way out. He was like, no, don't sit back for nothing. You be the leader, because that's what he was. And he told me that, and he started working me out, and he said, man, you just keep doing your thing. He called me positive. And to this day, man, that dude has been a big blessing in my life because he's always spoke that into me. He spoke the encouragement. He spoke the toughness in me. And I'm just like, wow, I can do more than that. And people don't realize, like, Steve Smith was a guy who watched this game, number 21. Jim Jackson was number 22. And then I picked 23 is because of that. So everybody was just like, well, man, how'd you? I said, yeah, I've studied greatness. And I've always taken that from another perspective and made it my own. Like every move that I got, Allen Houston jump shot, stole it from him. Jordan's dunk, stole it from him. Like I'm trying to learn from people to be better. And I think that's the biggest thing that I could contribute to with Jim Jackson is everything he taught me, I learned and try to master what he did and make it better.
Jim was a bad guy, man. I'm telling
he
you,
was
man.
tough.
He's a very knowledgeable about the game, man. So knowledgeable.
Yeah.
And then you go on to Kentucky, win a championship in '96, and then, but you tear your ACL, man, in '97, right? And before the draft, still get drafted by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Again, played 11 seasons. Got your degree in psychology, through it all, right? And still managed again to, make it happen, man. And apparently, you made over $50 million in career earnings. That's what Basketball Reference says. Yeah, made over $50 million and $50 million. But when you think about it all, man, I think going to Ohio State, leaving Ohio State, going to Kentucky, playing for Rick Pitino, and then obviously going into the NBA where you won a championship in 2006 with the Miami Heat. If you had to describe your career in one word, what would that be?
Grateful.
Grateful. Why grateful?
A lot of people don't get to survive where we come from. They're dead, in jail, gone. They don't even get the opportunities to be successful. And I think that was one of the things that I was always proud of is, just be proud of who you are. Don't try to be Michael Jordan. Be the best Derek Anderson you can be and be grateful for what you got. The biggest thing that I always tell people is what I branded myself by is stamina. Loyalty was a big thing, but I feel like stamina is the biggest word that I ever used in my life because I never gave up and I never quit.
Yeah.
I think that was something that people kind of lose loosely. They use it like, oh, just don't quit, man. That's easy. That's easy to say when you're going through hard times. But if you wake up and say, you know what, I'm not going to stop today. I'm just keep the same positive attitude, something will change. So, grateful is great, but I think stamina has always been a key to making sure that you survive and keep moving forward because you will win. It's like the famous quote is, it's hard to beat somebody who never quits.
That's right.
Babe Ruth.
Yeah, they're going to keep coming at you. When I say these names, man, you tell me the one word that comes to top of mind, right? These are names you've seen throughout the course of your career from start to finish. You already said one of them, so I'm going to start with his earness, his greatness. You were one of the first people he brought on to help grow Jordan brand to where it is today. So when you say Michael Jordan, you hear that name, what's the first word that comes to mind?
Opportunity.
Opportunity.
He got me open my Jordan shoe store. He's helped me create a brand for myself through his brand. He's given me a lot of opportunities. There will be never a day I ever talk bad about him, never say anything down because he's given me so many opportunities and he's just been a good leader for me, So I think opportunities, what he's given me and giving other people as well.
Yeah, is this something that maybe people don't know about him or see enough about him? Because you hear a lot of hate about MJ nowadays. Everybody coming up taking shots at him. He was this, he was that. But a guy who's worked closely with him, a guy who's recruited you, man. What don't people maybe know about Michael Jordan?
I think he's always, if you know him, he's a giving person. Like he'll give you everything you need to have. And I think that was the difference for me. It's like I didn't have someone who was always giving. He was always giving. I called him when I was a free agent, said, hey man, where do you think I should go? He gave me advice. Those are the things that I took from him was just the opportunity to give feedback from him. So, everybody's going to take a shot at everyone. No one's going to be a perfect scale, but I think he's always given me that opportunity to expand. Like I got to open up a Jordan shoe store. Nobody ever done that. And he said, yeah, go ahead. And I was just like, wow, that's cool. And then he gave me an opportunity to create my brand with my own shoes and do all these other things and open up my foundation with him funneling all the gear. So we feed and give free clothes and shoes to all the kids. So I just think with him, has been a lot of opportunities he's given me.
Yeah, sir, you got a lifetime contract with the Jordan brand, man.
Yeah.
Not too many people can say that either.
Nah.
No matter where if you see a pair of Jordans that come out, all you got to do is make a call and they come into your.
That's why I sent you your care package.
Man. Oh my God, man. Ron Mercer.
Brother.
I mean, those times in Kentucky, man.
Yes.
People sleep on Ron Mercer, man.
He
was
was
a bad
tough.
boy.
He was tough.
He was
man.
a bad boy.
He
man.
competed. He respected me. We respected each other. We loved playing with each other. After that, like when I was going through some stuff in life, and he said, "Hey man, you can call me if you want to talk." And he's younger than me, so that lets you know that guy cares more than basketball. So Ron's been a great brother to me, man. He's still my brother. We talk all the time. So. Yeah.
Greg Popovich, man. And I say that because back in 2017, when me and you spoke, and I was asking you about playing in San Antonio, you quote, it was the best time of your life, right, in your career.
Yep.
It said the environment, I quote, the environment was structured. If there's one thing about the NBA, there's a business side to it. But if you have structure, you're always going to have a chance to succeed, right? You told me that when I was writing for the San Antonio Express News. When you hear the name Greg Popovich, what comes to mind?
A friend.
A friend. My friend.
He's been that way to every player. If you looked at all the stuff he's done, try to get guys a flight home to see his parents. If you see him again, even when I left and didn't play for him anymore, he was always giving me a hug, saying, man, how's the family? Like, that's someone who doesn't look at basketball as the end all to it. And he was always respectful. I was like, wow, that's a good guy, man. He's a friend to everybody he meets. And no one's ever going to say anything bad about this guy. And if you do, I think it was something personal.
Yeah.
You know, because he's always a friend. He'll tell you when you're right, tell you when you're wrong, but he's always there for you. And I think that's hard to find in this business, man. People will throat you to death. They lie on you. They'll trade. They'll lie in your face. It's just bad business, certain bad habits. He's never been that way.
Yeah, man. I remember covering the Spurs and the Miami Heat during the finals, man, in 2014. And my grandmom had passed, and I had missed one of the games. And he looked at me and says, "Where were you at?" And I told him that. And as soon as I told him that, basketball just was irrelevant.
Over.
He put his arm around me, man, and was just talking about life, man. I'll never forget.
Friend.
Exactly. I'll never forget it, man. Walking out of practice, and also all he cared about was his family good and all that, man.
Yep. You
don't get that. When you were in the NBA, what is probably the biggest thing you learned about business? Because I go back to a time, you mentioned the Spurs, and it was a contract thing there, right? You were supposed to get more.
Yeah.
Tim and them, they wanted you to stay, but the money wasn't making sense.
Right.
And you called Michael, and you end up in Portland where they offered more.
Yeah.
But you talk about that structure, right? And I know Portland, they had my man Mochi. I'm a Mochi's guy, Derek. That's my guy. And I know they had John Nash was the GM there. I know y'all may not have seen things the same way, right? But that was an organization that one could say was in disarray. They had the Jailblazers era.
Yeah.
There was a lot going on there, man. What did you learn about the business side of the NBA when you're going through that contract dispute? Because to me, that was the pivotal time in your career.
If I would have known better, I would have took it different, but I took it personal because it wasn't a reason to be disrespectful or lie. And for me was when you do that, your character is enhanced. It comes to the forefront. So when I see your character is flawed, I can't be around you no matter what that situation is. And when I left San Antonio, it wasn't because of Popovich, it was because of the general manager. I took a 1-year or 2-year deal and said, I'll just take this and then next year reward me with the longer term. Didn't happen, I left. No arguing, no nothing. But when Portland came, it was the same situation where I was in a situation where you were trying to get better and the teammates were there, but the structure wasn't there from coaches, from general managers. They were just doing all kind of things. And I say, when you take someone's character and you put it in front of me and it's flawed, I can't be around you. But when you're in the NBA, you can't leave. So it's like, what do? You kept playing, you kept doing it, you kept being a good teammate, you kept being a good leader. But there's a point where you get to a point you're just like, man, this is not good. And I think for me I took it personal because they were just bad character. Some of the ownership of the general managers. And once that happened, man, it was just kind of, I don't think I like basketball anymore. And I was really trying to retire. And, at that time I talked to some of my friends, Greg and Leland and Terrence, and I was just like, man, do I retire? And he's like, man, just get as much as you can and take care of your family. Because that's when the passion for the game, it almost left me. I was just like, man, I don't even want to do this anymore. And it was because those guys were just not good people. And when you're in that environment, I don't care how old you are, when you're in an environment that's not conducive with your character, it kind of bothers you.
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, how do I get out of that? I sit there 4 years, and then I finally got a buyout. And Paul Allen, great guy, he was great. He said, man, I'll let you go. And I was like grateful for that, and rest in peace. But yeah, it was a situation, man, if your character's in jeopardy, I can't be around it. So the game of basketball took a back seat for me at that point.
Do you tell young guys now, rookies especially, when you're talking to them, to maybe not take things as personal?
Oh, yeah.
It is business.
Yeah, it's business. The business of basketball is different. You build relationships, but you got to look at the game of basketball, and you don't want to short the game of basketball because it will short you. Luckily, I didn't have that issue. I just was frustrated with the system, the business of basketball. But I played hard, then the next year, won a championship. As soon as I left that next year, I won a championship. Went to Miami, won a championship, and it kind of brought to life. But I said, you know what? I was done. As soon as I won a championship, I retired. And it was funny, I came back because Michael Jordan called me and said, I need you to come help my guys out in Charlotte. And I was like, man, I'm retired. Like, I'm good. But he said, I need you. And I was sitting at home, and it was November. I was sitting on the couch, and he just called and said, come. 2 days later, I was playing an NBA game.
Yeah, that's when Bernie Bickerstaff, God bless his life.
God bless. I love Bernie Bickerstaff. He's one of the greatest people I've ever met as well.
Yeah, Bernie Bickerstaff, man. Great. His son doing some great stuff as well.
JB,
Detroit, man.
great
JB.
guy. Great family.
When you talk about, because you had DA Enterprises, right? When you were playing, when did it hit you that you was trying to, let me step my business plans up? Because you had given yourself a 10-year plan to play, end up making 2011, so right around the same time frame. But that DA Enterprises, Derek Anderson Enterprises, when did that become real for you? And when did you know you had to start to put that in motion to prepare for life after basketball?
The lockout season. It came. My rookie year, we were fine. Everything's going. I opened up a foundation. But the 98 season was lockout.
That's right.
So I'm sitting at home, and it's December, and I'm like, oh,
that's before you even got really money because you were just drafted.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, I don't have any bills. I don't have no house. I was just renting. So I wasn't trying to build a house. I wasn't spending no money. I had one car, and I had an apartment. And I was like, well, man, I don't know how long this is going to last. If this lasts another year, I'm going to have to get a job. And I started thinking about it, and I said, I need to reach out to people who are in business. I reached out to Junior Bridgman. I reached out to MJ again. I would say, what do I need to do? And they started telling me, you need to do something out, get your portfolio. And I'm thinking like, well, what's that? I come from college where I just knew play basketball, save money, take care of your family. So when he told me about that, I said, okay, that lockout season woke me up. And it woke a lot of guys up. I started working with guys who were looking to do the same thing, invest in properties, look at land. Most of it was real estate we were all trying to do. It wasn't a lot of technology or anything like that. But I did invest in Yahoo. I was trying to do everything then. Yeah, we were just trying to focus on how could we build our portfolio. But that lockout scared a lot of guys, woke us up. But that was a forced necessity. I don't know if we would have did it earlier if we didn't have that situation.
Yeah, so maybe a blessing in disguise.
It was.
Yeah, because under that Enterprises, and you sold it, if I'm not mistaken, Enterprises, but you had 8 restaurants, pizza restaurants, right? Pizza. You had an Anderson Atrium, right? 14-suite office building. And then you had another, a beauty supply store, a restaurant shoe store, boutiques and things like that for children. Why did you sell DA Enterprises?
I wanted to live with my family. Like I had been in NBA for so long, and once I retired, I was like, I want to be around my family. That's why I kind of went dark. I was just like, I want to be around my family. I don't want to be in the spotlight anymore. I just want to be around your family because I didn't have that.
That's right.
Didn't have a mother, and then I wouldn't found both my parents. So I met my dad, and after I met him, he was 6'9". He's taller than me. I hadn't seen him in almost 30 years. So I was like, man, this dude is a giant. And when I met him, he was a good guy. He told me this story why he wasn't around. And I was like, wow, this is cool, man. I got to meet him, and then 10 months later, he died of cancer. So I was just like, man, I want to meet, I want to go find my mother. I went and found my mother. Went looking for my brother, my older brother, found him. So we all had Christmas dinner. Then she had a daughter, Nicole, we had her. So we had Christmas dinner for the first time in 20 years, man. So it was like families kind of overrided the business side. So I was like, you know what, let me push this to the side, put my money, try to help my family be better. It brought us together. So it was a moment of family for me why I kind of got rid of everything.
Yeah, it's a focus.
Yeah, it was a focus on that. But then when I restarted, it was because, I met my wife, Jamie, and she was always like, you want to just keep building, just, this and that. And she's always been somebody who was positive in my area, getting our family together, take all our pictures. So she influenced me to get back out there and just kind of push it again and just kind of build something for our family.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Well, look, take me back into your portfolio because the family now looks like y'all doing good, right?
Doing
Everything's good.
Yes.
And I'm glad to know that you had that reconcile, man, and was able to connect with your dad again.
Yeah.
Not too many people were able to do that. Man.
Yeah.
So, but
good terms too.
That's phenomenal, man. That's
Good
great.
term.
But what else you involved in, man? I mean, take me back in the portfolio. I mean, you still got some real estate. You believer in crypto. I mean, what else is Derek Anderson involved in the business side?
We try to do a lot of different things. We don't try to oversaturate our thinking with everything. We just try to go into what makes sense for us, just kind of bits and pieces and move. A little here, makes up a lot. And I think we just try to keep ourselves focused with that. Then we teach our children that. We're teaching our boys that. All our sons, we try and teach them is to make sure you guys do the same thing that we're trying to teach you. And just kind of build your family that way, so it's not just left behind. And we have a nice portfolio. We've been trying to build. And NVIDIA's doing well for us. Again, we're trying to teach them and get them involved now. So we're passing that on to them and letting them take over from stuff that we're doing. And my wife and I just kind of sit back and watch.
Yeah.
We're almost like coaches now.
Well, I was talking to Don Peoples, man, a real estate developer, and he was giving me 5 cities.
Very good.
And I ask that question all the time. I mean, I put you on that spot too. If you had to give me 5 cities to develop real estate, because I know that was something you were involved in. Where are you looking at now for real estate development?
Well, you can find different areas, just depending on the structure of the taxes, of course.
Yeah.
We found some land in Austin, Texas, and a lot of people are trying to buy it up. So we wouldn't buy some Austin, Texas just to hold until somebody wants it. We found a lot of people are moving.
You still
there.
own it?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're trying to hold because a lot of people are trying to go there for businesses.
Yeah.
So we're holding some land for that, and hopefully people will buy it. But we know a couple places in Texas, but then we got one in Florida, and that's in Jupiter, Florida. Jordan moved there, so we went and seen his house, and he's like, "Oh man, this is nice."
You've been to Michael Jordan's house?
Yeah.
Is it really nice?
Ooh, yes.
Is it like a palace, a castle?
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell his business, but it's nice. It's nice.
Does it get security outside with guns and stuff?
No. The whole place is nice. The golf course is crazy.
But there's a big giant MJ logo on the golf course?
No.
A Jordan logo?
No. You got the Jordan every logo stuff, but
Yeah.
yeah, he's that place. Jupiter is really nice.
Yeah.
We've done some in Alpharetta, Georgia, where we live. So we're just trying to go, though. I think the outskirts of places are the best places because people are moving. And I think if you want to build your portfolios, go places where people aren't, but there's actual structure to be built. Don't go just because it's just open land, but you want to go where you can have gas stations, grocery stores, those type of chains around you, and you can hold on to those properties and build. But you want to go where there's some good good tax haven places, and also places where people actually want to be. You know, you can't just go build somewhere and just say Tennessee, somewhere up north, and it's freezing, it's mountains, and nobody's coming.
That's right.
So you have to be, you know, strategic about where you're going. But I think if you find out where everyone's moving to, it's more of those places where people are going to build corporations and save money.
Yeah. You're interested in crypto at all? You a believer in that? Cryptocurrency?
Very little. You know, my son Darian does. He taught me a little bit. He taught me some.
Yeah.
So shout out to Darian. He taught me a little bit of some of that stuff. But
You still nervous about it? Like, it's just because you can't put your hands on it?
Yeah, it's like I'm old school.
Yeah.
You know, I still, you know, old school myself to death. I don't do that. I still wash my own dishes, so I don't, I don't trust, you know, to leave no food in the bowl. So yeah, no, it's I'm not saying it's against it. I just haven't been really deep into it. I stick to my what I'm good at, the investment parts, and then the real estate portfolio.
Yeah.
That's why I try to stay in.
Yeah, I love the real estate. And he was one of the first dudes to have property in Turks and Caicos.
Yeah.
Before we all knew what Turks and Caicos was.
Was anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
One of the first guys that had property down that way. But if you had to, you know, when you go and you're ready to pass your business empire off to your kids, because you and your wife want to go back to Turks and Caicos and just live there for the rest of your life, right? But if you had to name your business empire in one word when it's all said and done, what is Derek Anderson's business empire for you?
Heritage.
Heritage. Why heritage?
Is when I'm gone, I don't want my name to be gone. I don't want that to ever be where it's just disappeared and be like it's a whisper in the air. It's like, you know what, the heritage of what he's left behind is there for his children. His great-grandchildren will remember his name and what they've done and will be proud of that.
Yeah, I love it. Love it. Somebody sees you on the street and they do recognize you.
Yeah.
You're Derek Anderson.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to, you know, approach you with a business plan? What do you want to see from an entrepreneur if they have a business plan and they might want you to be an investor?
Well, I meet people where they're at. I don't like when people just say, well, I don't like you because you didn't come correct, you didn't do it. It's like, there's always a lesson to learn. So if you come loud, I'm gonna tell you to tone it down, show you how it looks. So however you come to me, it's okay. I just want to make sure that I help you out. So anybody comes with a business plan, I'm always open because I'm going to try to teach them from start to finish. I don't care how it looks, it's how you want to make sure they finish it. Because when people say, yeah, I don't deal with those people because they didn't come right, it's like, but you're missing opportunity. You know, when people say that I get up at 5, 6 in the morning, I don't get up that early. Like when people say I've been working hard, I'm gonna get up at 5 or 6, but did you do that your whole life? Like, no, I got out. So you need to do what's consistent, and that is your character and your work ethic. So whenever I get up is when I feel like, you know what, it's time for me to grow. So when I meet people, I meet them where they're at. I don't try to change them. I mean, I don't try to, you know, tell them they're wrong. I just try to fix what they can be better at.
Yeah.
So any proposal to me is I want to be better. And so if it doesn't work for me, it can be better for the next person they're going to meet.
But you got to be looking for a trait or something, right? Something that got to stand out about the individual. What's that trait?
Well, it's always the character. It's like, how are you as a person? Because you can come like, hey, man, I really want to do this, but you're really excited. Doesn't mean you're a bad person. But you're definitely your appearance. Like, you can't wear certain clothes and be a certain way without me explaining to you what that looks like, and then you can change. You know, but I don't never look at a person and judge them by the cover up. I just got to tell them how you fix things moving forward. Yeah. So I don't look for anything specifically. I just look, because everybody's different.
That's right.
How you'll come at me 40 years, you know, 10 years ago may be different. You come at me another 10 years. So just help people where they're at, man. That's what we've been losing. We've been looking at people and judging them, and you just want to look at them and say, you know what, you can do better, man. Yeah. You know, my middle school coach, my elementary teacher told me, she said, Derek, you can be better than what you are, and I got a 96 on my next test. I listened.
Well, hey, man, listen, get you out of here on some fun stuff, man. I really appreciate the time, Derek, man. It's been so long, so it's always good to catch up with you, man. But I know how you made your first million, I think, playing basketball, right? How did you spend it? What was the first million that you spent?
I actually opened up my foundation.
Wow, with $1 million?
Well, it wasn't $1 million. Our first check was $250.
Okay.
So I said, you know what, I put $20,000 in a foundation account, and that's what I opened up. I didn't have a business, I didn't have an apartment, I didn't have anything. I was staying on campus. And I got my check, and I was like, man, I'll open up a foundation so I can help the next me. I always wanted to do that. So I did that and opened up my foundation. Then I bought a car, and then I got an apartment. Well, I got an apartment, then I got a car. But yeah, I was my first dead. But the first $1 million that I really got, my one check that was $1 million, I did get a house.
Get a house with it?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know, so I've read it, and I'm going to ask you money management advice in a minute, but you had over 100 cars in your NBA career. Yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, is that a bad investment now? Like, do you go back and regret it? Like, I had that many cars in my life. What the hell was I thinking?
It's an awful investment. It was a great time. It was a great time. But no, I don't drink, I don't gamble, I don't party. Like, I didn't have anything to do with my money.
All right.
my sons, my kids was there. So I was just like, I don't have anything to do. So
Kept throwing money into the stock
yeah,
market.
and it was just what I was, but it was like, okay, it was winning.
Right.
So you get money on return. I was paying my CPA. Like everything was going well.
So why not?
So after a year, I was just like, man. Then I just started I've always liked cars, Transformers. That was our thing. So I just started getting cars, man, and I just started getting a car. But I would buy them and then I was selling to other people.
Yes.
So I wasn't losing that whole equity in them either. So I would get a Rolls Royce. Somebody else would want it. So if it cost me like $400, I would sell it for $370.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, oh, I got a good deal, barely miles on it. But I mean, if you sell a Rolls Royce in a year, that's like 50,000 gone. So it was just different for me, man. But I definitely say it's the worst investment I ever made. But I had a ball doing it.
Remember the best car that you had, like during that whole collection? Which one do you that still stands out?
Still stands out. I got a picture of it in a frame. I even got a model made.
Which one?
It was a Rolls Royce convertible. It was sky blue with white interior.
Nice. You don't have it anymore?
Nah, somebody ran to the back of it. Yeah, somebody ran to the back of it.
And they totaled it.
I had no choice.
Man.
I was crying.
Yeah.
There's some tears that day. But yeah, that was the best one. Yeah.
Looking at outlook, man. Again, the NBA is wrap up here. Going back to the NBC in 2000 this year, right? But the first time it's back in the NBC since I don't know what. But when you look at the NBA today, like just from a purely basketball standpoint, what do you see, and do you like it?
I think it's a different game. I think the analytics have changed what the purity of the game is. Because if I'm on a fast break, I'm not stopping for a three. I'm going to dunk on it. And I think that was exciting for a fan to see, like, you shooting a three. My son could do that. He's 7. He could do it. I think when you look at the game, you want to keep the purity of it there, and I think sometimes it's lost. But the game is still in a great place. I think the guys are athletic. They're smart. They're trying to do better. But I think it goes back to the AAU and just holding the kids accountable of teaching the game. If you hit a jump shot, who should get the next shot? You.
Yeah.
Coaches don't do that.
Yeah.
They don't teach the game the way it should be taught. You don't reward the guys. If you took a charge, I'm going to give you the ball the next time because it's teaching you to, what you do hard, you get rewarded for it. I think we've lost a lot of that common sense coaching. And I coach on social media, so if you ever see it, you see me posting, it'll be because of the coaches and our coaching right. So I think we put the game is in a good place, but I think some of the teachings are not in a good positive position, and I think we can do better at that.
Yeah. Your favorite player today who maybe has that overall good game, you could tell he's been coached, likes being coached, and for me is, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. I love that kid.
Yep, Kentucky guy, good kid, solid, stay firm.
Is he your favorite player today?
He's one of them.
Yeah. Who's
He's
the
definitely
top?
one to play. What do you say?
Who's the top?
I can't tell you who's the top.
Oh, why not?
I work with the guys.
You don't want to go to his ego.
Yeah, I work with the guys.
I
love it. A lot of those guys are good though, man. A lot of those guys are really talented, really good players, and I like the ones who are good leaders as well.
Yeah.
Build the team up. So I love that.
Look around the world, man. What country does Derek Anderson invest in right now? Just go pour it in, or continent, but which area do you go invest in right now?
Well, the U.S., I've definitely stayed here focused, but I've met some friends in Dubai and Abu Dhabi, and we're doing some business deals there. I'm speaking at the World Government Summit in February of next year.
Nice.
So I'm on the panel
In
I'll be
Dubai.
there in Dubai. So I've been invited to speak there, so I'm excited to be there. And then we're doing some basketball stuff. We're doing some life skills. We're doing some business there. Want to bring some things over there so I can bring the variety of their stuff, our stuff to them, and they can bring some of their stuff to us. And whatever that is, we'll see. But that's where we're headed now. My wife and I are going over there in December 1st, and then we're going to speak in the World Government Summit.
Yeah, the first flying cars being tested in Dubai in 2026.
Yeah, well, I won't be the test driver. We'll let them see what happens.
Ryan Clark said the same thing. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not getting into that, man.
Yeah.
Top 3 books, man, that inspire you to perform your best or motivate you.
My life story, Stamina. I still read it. She's like, well, I said, I just got to keep motivating because seeing sometimes I'll be like, I want to share journeys with them. The Art of War.
Yeah.
It was definitely something that I was like, wow, this is incredible. And I remember growing up, man, it was Marcus Garvey's book. It was pretty good, but then I read an autobiography of Malcolm X and his story and what he did and how he started believing in himself and believing what he did. I was like, wow, that was powerful for me. And it was everything about him when something comes out, I'm always looking at it, just researching and seeing what he did, because he transformed himself.
He did.
From what he did and what he believed. And I was like, that takes a lot of courage, but that takes a lot of strength.
Yeah, he went to see the world and it changed his
Yes,
perspective.
and that's what I wanted to do too. That's what made me start going abroad and looking at things. Because I had never been across, the whole 10 years, I never went out of the country.
Yeah.
So besides the Turks deal, but other than that, I was like, but it's motivating now to see that there's other people in the world that you can enhance and enrich.
Yeah, got to listen to Malcolm's the last message the night before he was murdered.
Yep.
He had given a speech audio. I
Yep.
mean, one of the best ones ever, man. I'm telling you, definitely check that out. Get you out of here on this, man. Good to Great, one of my favorite business books, man. What's the difference? And I think you know between a good NBA shooting guard and a great one.
Consistency.
Consistency.
Yep. If I shoot the ball like this, it's good. If I do this, what is that?
Yeah.
Inconsistent. And I try to teach my kids and players, it's like you have to be consistent with everything that you do. From your footwork, your technique, your balance, your body, your follow through, everything. Everything about you has to be consistent. And I think that's the biggest thing with what I believe in good and great. Because everybody can just shoot and might go in.
That's right.
You know, but when you're consistently, it's going to always give you a better chance to go in with anything in life. You know, you're consistent with whatever you're going to do, you'll be successful.
I don't see the pivot, jab, steps, footwork like that no more. I don't see none of that stuff, man. I mean, guys get the ball, they just want to shoot three or dunk. You don't even try to do jab steps. They don't even try to get guys off the place, man. It's like it's all gone, man.
Yeah, it does.
It's fun to watch the young guys. It's fun to watch them hoop, man.
Yeah.
Derek, I appreciate the time, my brother. Thank you, man. Go work out with those NBA rookies over there. Teach them something, man. And definitely come back, man. Continue to talk business, especially as you're working your way around the world. And if you have any more investment property opportunities in Turks and Caicos, come to me, man. I'm telling you, let me know. Okay,
I'll let you know,
man.
man.
I might want to get in on the deal, man. Come on, man. Derek Anderson. Appreciate the time, my brother, man. Got to share some more of those San Antonio stories one day, too, man. And also, when you go back to Jordan's house, send a little invite. Just drop your location. I'll show up.
Trying to get me locked out.
No, absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. He'll be all right. He'll be knocking on the door. He'll be cool.
Right.
Derek Anderson at the Enterprise Zone at the Nasdaq. Thank you for watching.